Welcome to an overview of the Scarborough Community's 2020 Comprehensive Plan. This plan is the culmination of input from community residents, town committees, and local organizations. It has also used data from local, state, and national sources to inform the process. The plan reflects the vision of Scarborough and presents a blueprint for a sustainable future that reflects the priorities and values of the community. My name is Dave Merrill. I'm the chair of the Long Range Planning Committee, or LRPC as it's fondly called. This is the committee charged by the council with bringing forward a document for adoption. We have solicited feedback from all the groups above and been at the hub of communications throughout this process. It has been our objective to hone down a vast amount of information down into a document that has something useful for every resident and perhaps opens some eyes to the complexities and interdependencies of the town. The presentation tonight will talk about the community vision reflected in the plan, review the public input process, describe plan strategies, and identify steps towards adoption. We look forward to tonight's discussion and ongoing community dialogue.
Hi, I'm Jay Chase. I'm the Planning Director here in Scarborough, and along with the voices of the Long Range Planning Committee members and Karen Martin, the Director of the Economic and Development Corporation here in town, I'm pleased to present this plan to you this evening. With Dave's introduction, thank you, Dave, I just want to take a couple moments to speak about what the comprehensive plan is, and then we'll talk a little bit about how we arrived at the items that are in this plan. The plan starts with a vision from the community. We will talk in a moment about the public process that it went into developing this, so I'm not going to take time to do that here. But it is, overall, a visionary document that provides a blueprint for smart, sustainable evolution that reflects the priorities and values of Scarborough residents. The plan seeks to safeguard the town's history and sense of place by stimulating the conditions for short and long-term needs as identified through the planning process. In many ways, the 2020 Comprehensive Plan builds on the foundation of the 2006 Comprehensive Plan. It seeks to implement a vision that preserves the character of Scarborough while addressing targeted development in a way that provides for economic opportunities, protects the natural environment, and improves upon the high quality of life for all residents. In many ways, the 2006 Comprehensive Plan was a very prescriptive plan that described exact measures for the community to embrace in moving forward. The 2020 Comprehensive Plan has taken a different tact in really thinking about systems and seeks a more synergistic approach to the diverse range of activities that occur within the town between development, preservation of open space, traffic, housing choices, while thinking about the impacts on not only our residents, but on the municipal capacity to serve the future needs. The comprehensive plan touches on a diverse range of town activities and policies that are important for the community and future leaders and decision makers to consider in the context of the entire community. As the plan touches on such a wide-ranging activities and policies across the entire community, it's important to understand that not everything in this plan is intended to happen once or to happen quickly. This is a visionary document for the community to rely on and look to as we develop and implement future policies and regulations for the town.
Listening to the voices of Scarborough is one of the most important things that the comprehensive plan can do. In developing the plan, we've invited the Scarborough community to talk about their town and their vision for the future. We employ traditional meetings, hands-on workshops, and new engagement techniques grounded in online technology. Before there was a single word written, the Long Range Planning Committee crafted a schedule of meetings to launch the project and to identify what people wanted for their community. First, the Long Range Planning Committee kicked the process off with a meeting at Town Hall with some 90 participants. This meeting was run by our consultants, who also scheduled one-on-one meetings with counselors and with Long Range Planning Committee members. We followed up this initial kickoff with a series of meetings that we called Imagine the Future. Attendees were asked to talk about what they love in Scarborough and what they don't love. They were asked to imagine the future 10 years from now. We brought the Imagine the Future meetings to different areas of the community, from Hagen's Beach and Pine Point to Oak Hill and North Scarborough. We also wanted to add the voices of various town committees to the mix. We really wanted to celebrate these passionate volunteers by checking in with them specifically on what they saw for the future of Scarborough. We also reached out to civic organizations like the Kiwanis Club or anybody who would have us on their schedule. And then we tried something different. In concert with our consultants, we held a week-long, hands-on workshop in the offices above Scarborough grounds. Jay Chase and I spent the week, often until 9 or 10 at night, meeting in either groups of residents or one-on-one with citizens that came up to talk. We talked with kids and parents. We talked with people from all types of neighborhoods. We talked with business owners. We heard the story of Scarborough from different voices, different perspectives, and yes, sometimes different ideas. Again, in the spirit of trying new things, we did deploy an online engagement website called Scarborough Engaged. Here people could make comments, see work in progress, and learn about the comprehensive plan. All of this led to the first draft of the plan developed by our consultants. When we received the first draft, the Long Range Planning Committee noted that while there was some great technical work done, the plan did not spend enough time telling the story of Scarborough that we heard in the meetings and the various other forms of input. The committee felt it was also time to check in on the policy direction of the plan. We used a survey published in the Leader and available online. Survey respondents could fill out the survey online, or they could cut out the survey from the Leader and drop it off at the library or town hall. The survey gave us more information on community preferences. Results confirmed that while there were many amenities that we would like to see in town, fiscal sustainability must be considered in all aspects of the future. That principle tested the most important of the 9 principles listed in the first draft of the comprehensive plan based on the survey input. Along with the survey, staff in the Long Range Planning Committee hosted another series of public meetings in the neighborhood settings to hear comments on the first draft. The Long Range Committee reviewed comments and survey results, and then they instructed staff to prepare a series of edits and redrafts to give back to the consultants. We also found that there were some universal themes, no matter what the format of the input. This final draft puts together these universal themes in a series of vision statements based on the collective input of all of our various forms.
Hello, I'm Robin Saunders. I live in the Pleasant Hill neighborhood. I'm a member of the Long Range Planning Committee and liaison to the Planning Board, where I've served for 5 years. I'm pleased to introduce you to the first of our 5 visions in the town of Scarborough's comprehensive plan. Vision 1. The marsh is central to our identity, and therefore future land use will follow a pattern of development that is sensitive to protecting the marsh as well as the town's natural resources. Under this vision, the plan identifies strategies such as future land use map, balancing growth, and the natural environments, sustainability, conservation, stormwater management, sea level rise, vulnerabilities, and I'm quite pleased to see that stewardship is near the top of the list of guiding principles for our comprehensive plan.
Hi, my name is Corey Fellows. My wife and I live in the Pine Point area and we have 3 boys, all of whom attend Scarborough High. I formerly served on the planning board, including several years as board chair. During that time, I've seen Scarborough go through multiple economic ups and downs along with the region and nation, but it has continued an overall trajectory of controlled development and growth. Effective land use planning requires more than just making zoning designations or painting different colors on a map. Our land use vision should be a dynamic reflection of our community's values and aspirations. Future land use patterns will create opportunities for the efficient delivery of municipal services and infrastructure, resulting in fiscal sustainability. Under this vision, the comprehensive plan identifies strategies that consider the long-term financial stability of the town, infrastructure investments, and resiliency, all while maintaining balanced budgets, strategic partnerships, public safety services, recycling, a community center, broadband, public school facilities, and the library.
Good evening. My name is Rick Cheney, and I'm a member of the Long Range Planning Committee. I also currently serve on the Board of Directors of the Scarborough Economic Development Corporation and am president of the Scarborough Land Trust. Previously, I served on the Planning Board, as well as a number of committees in town, including the Growth and Services Committee and the Open Space Committee. Lastly, in 2006, I chaired the Comprehensive Plan Update Committee that drafted the current Comprehensive Plan. I've been a resident of Scarborough since 1994, and I live with my wife in a development off the Black Point Road known as Prout's Landing. Tonight, I'd like to introduce to you Vision 3 of the 2020 Draft Comprehensive Plan. Vision 3 anticipates that our ordinances will support the diversity and character of existing and emerging neighborhoods, centers, and open spaces in town. Under this vision, we look at the need for a simplified zoning ordinance, home affordability and availability, opportunities for active living, and a development of community and community identity. We look forward tonight to a more detailed discussion of Vision 3, as well as the other aspects of the comprehensive plan, and ultimately look forward to the Council's adoption of the plan. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm Dave Merrill, a member of the Long Range Planning Committee. I've lived in the Windward Heights neighborhood of Scarborough for almost 20 years and worked in the design and construction industry for almost 30. I got involved during the previous 2006 Comprehensive Plan as a committee member and have participated on many of the subsequent committees formed to implement and study planning initiatives in the town. I want to introduce you to Vision 4 of the plan's 5 visions. Vision 4 states, Scarborough's economy will support a broad assortment of companies that will provide stability to the tax base, that blend with and protect the natural resource base, and that support opportunities for its residents. Under this vision, we look at the components of a healthy and sustainable local economy, such as entrepreneurship, branding, communication, infrastructure, information, working with our natural resource-based organizations and labor force. This vision was culled from comments and feedback received during the initial outreach done at the beginning of our process. It signals one of the common themes brought forward in the 5 visions and is intended to provoke thought, discussion, and study in the years to come as we shape the evolution of Scarborough. It is our hope that future groups will take this vision and formulate creative, sound ideas to promote a well-balanced and healthy economy for our town. I thank you for your time and continued thoughtful input.
Hello, my name is Judy Roy, and I've lived in Scarborough for 68 years and currently live over in the Green Acres area. I've been involved in the town since '99, serving on the council for 15 years in that period of time, from then until November of '05. And I'm pleased to serve on the Long Range Planning Committee. And my focus would be to introduce Vision number 5. Vision 5. Scarborough's transportation network will support current and future land uses that create efficiencies, which reduce the impact of traffic on residents and businesses. Under this vision, we look at the impact of traffic on residents, walkability, improving connectivity, transit opportunities, complete streets, and street acceptance standards in the changing technology in traffic management.
Hello, my name is Alan Paul, and I'm a former member of the Planning Board and currently serve as a member on the Long Range Planning Committee and on the Board of Directors for the Scarborough Economic Development Corporation. I live off Black Point Road in Prouts Landing along with my wife, and we have lived at that residence for 25 years. In addition to the plan vision, this plan contains a conservation and growth map. The conservation and growth map sets up the framework for a general pattern of development and land use by setting forth strategies such as outlying areas west of the turnpike should retain their rural character and protect open spaces. Natural areas, agriculture, land, and open space should be protected and connected wherever feasible. Public water and sewer infrastructure should be encouraged within designated growth areas. A majority of new residential and commercial development should be located in the growth areas. The identity of established neighborhoods should be enhanced, and new development should complement the existing scale and design. Businesses are an essential part of the community and will continue to contribute a significant portion of local taxes. Future zoning and land use regulations will adapt as necessary to implement the visions and strategies of the plan.
I like it. The Conservation and Growth Map is the articulation of many of the strategies that are laid out in the plan and many that we have just heard from Alan. Through the public planning sessions, we heard support from the community regarding the concept of a conservation and growth approach that focuses on conserving land first and designating focused areas where development and redevelopment should occur. By allowing for more intense development in areas specifically chosen by the community for future growth and limiting development elsewhere, Scarborough can reap environmental and economic benefits and steward its natural resources and protect the character of the existing neighborhoods in the community. By organizing the town according to conservation and growth areas, intentional and informed decisions can be made about how to most effectively spend municipal dollars on infrastructure improvement consistent with the plan. The Conservation and Growth Map is organized around different growth sectors that set out conservation priorities and inform the intensity and character of new development. The boundaries of these sectors are imperfect and intended to reflect a general pattern of desired future growth. The conservation open space sector is an area that is protected from development in perpetuity, either through environmental protection laws or regulations, as well as land acquired for conservation through the purchases of easement or outright purchase of the land. These also include our surface water bodies such as the marsh and streams and other riparian corridors and wildlife areas. The conservation and open space sector amounts to 24% of the total area of the town. the rural residential sector remains a rural area with limited development. The remaining agricultural land is preserved in cooperation with landowners, and opportunities for connecting natural areas and open spaces are explored, including a greenway along the Nonsuch River. Future residential development that does occur is intended to be at low density and designed to maintain the rural character of the area and provide buffers along significant natural resources. The rural residential sector of the plan equates to 48% of the town's area. The low to moderate density residential sector encompasses a number of our residential neighborhoods. The character and identity of these various neighborhoods is to be maintained, and infill is to be a scale and character that is compatible with the existing development. The availability and quality of the public infrastructure, including green spaces, are upgraded as a result of development and implementation of neighborhood plans. Low to moderate density residential sector comprises 15% of the town's land area. Low to moderate density non-residential growth sector is an area that is mostly developed in commercial and industrial suburban patterns, but still contains some underutilized parcels and redevelopment opportunities. These are areas that were developed in conventional, auto-oriented suburban pattern and are not expected to change much except for incremental improvements to businesses as they come and go. New development and redevelopment should be encouraged to articulate some of the goals of the community with respect to infrastructure improvements. The low to moderate density non-residential areas comprise 13% of our land area. As previously mentioned, 87% of the area is really identified for very minimal changes to the overall characteristic and design of the town. The main focus of the growth and discussion of this comprehensive plan are really around 9% of the area that are encompassed by these activity centers. While the plan focuses much of the verbiage and language around these limited land areas, these are the areas that have the greatest challenges and opportunities for focusing the future growth so we can preserve those characteristics, and natural areas that the community has identified they so value. The focus of the growth areas are really around activity centers such as the Regional Activity Center, which you can see in the middle of the map, which is around the Scarborough Downs and Higas Parkway area, as well as the community activity centers, which encompass Oak Hill and Dunstan. The Regional Activity Center has been identified potential development for tremendous opportunity to create an authentic and complete town center within Scarborough and have a regional draw. This would consist of a mix of uses and walkable area where people can live, shop, work. This would be the most intensely developed area of the town. It includes Scarborough Downs property as well as parcels generally within a mile radius, including the Higas Parkway. The other identified areas are called community activity centers, and these are the Oak Hill area and Dunstan neighborhoods, as I mentioned. These are largely built-out areas, but still have many vacant or underutilized land areas with opportunities for redevelopment within those communities. Additional growth and development in the areas is desirable due to the presence of existing infrastructure and services, and the plan envisions that most residential and non-residential development over the next 10 years will occur either in the Regional Activity Center or the Community Activity Centers. The plan also describes an area called the Corridor Transformation Sector. This really runs along the Route 1 corridor between Dunstan and Oak Hill and really envisions the area to evolve as a mixed-use commercial district, connecting the two activity centers However, the Route 1 corridor warrants some additional attention for access management and traffic calming, with a progressive transformation of the development patterns to increase the amenities in the area. Development patterns should consider orientation around reliable and regular transit as more viable densities in the activity centers increase. The remaining sector I haven't mentioned are our village growth sectors, which are some of the town's original village areas that already provide some moderate level of services to the neighborhoods which surround them. These include the North Scarborough area, areas around Eight Corners, Black Point neighborhood, the Higgins Beach neighborhood, and the Pine Point Beach neighborhood. While each village has its own characteristics and intensities of residential and non-residential uses, in the future, such services will be maintained at a level consistent with the overall pattern of development within each village. I'll now touch on the comprehensive plan review process, ongoing public outreach, and council adoption process. In early March, the Long Range Planning Committee, having received much public comment and discussion on the draft plan, moved the plan out of committee and to council for consideration. This was right before the pandemic took hold and all our lives were turned upside down. The plan was put out on the website and notified that it was available. However, there has not been an opportunity for public engagement. Tonight was the start of that discussion, and we look forward to further discussions with the public. To that end, with this being the reintroduction of the comprehensive plan, the Long Range Planning Committee intends to hold a series of 3 more public meetings to discuss the various aspects and elements of the comprehensive plan. It is expected these meetings will happen in late October and through the month of November, not to coincide with the holidays, of course. Following those public outreach meetings, the Long Range Planning Committee will make final consideration of comments received through tonight and those meetings, culminating in a final recommendation to Town Council. As laid out in the timeline that's been prepared and presented to the Council, the expectation is that Town Council and Planning Board will conduct a public hearing in December or January, following which the Town Council will take final action on the comprehensive plan anticipated in January 2021.
We hope the community recognizes this plan as a visionary document. There's work to do once the plan is adopted, but now we have a vision.